Hello, you mildly transparent, well-flowing paints. Welcome to Miniatures Rundown.
Well, that's it. We did it, folks. We got the weirdest intro in video history, I think.
We got the weirdest intro so far.
Today,
CJ and I, that's CJ.
Hi, that's Josh.
Joshicus.
Joshicus.
We're talking about speed paints.
Yep.
About 2 months after everybody else has. But hey, we work with the tools we have.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather, we work with the tools when they are delivered.
Oh.
So we have the speed paint starter sets.
Mm-hmm.
Not the full sets, unfortunately, although I pre-ordered mine.
Yeah.
Because especially after using these, I am,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll save it. But what we're just going to do today is we're just going to give our initial thoughts and impressions on how we, as two people who really, really love Games Workshop's contrast paints, how do these fare? We're not yet doing a direct one-to-one comparison.
No.
We will. Literally color for color, we're going to.
It's not very hard, let me tell you.
No, but as much as Army Painter doesn't want to say the quiet part out loud, these are meant to be a competitor to Games Workshop contrast paints.
They are in some case. They just are.
Well, that's what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah.
So we're going to do some painting, and things will be mostly sped up because I don't think anybody wants to sit and watch us paint for several hours.
Probably not. We'll give you the highlights, don't worry.
We'll cut in with highlights and things as we discover them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a bunch of models here. I've got a large number of mostly Reaper models,
Okay.
some Dragonborns, and a bunch of Wizards.
Uh-huh.
Contrast paints work best in general when there's texture to play with.
Mhm.
So I've got lots of cloth and scales here. But I do also have 2 Space Marines.
Okay.
Mine are all primed in the Zenithal style, which is dark and then a white from above.
Mm-hmm.
CJ, what do you got?
All right, so I have the new Eldari figure, Autarch figure from the latest Eldritch Omens box. Flat primed white or with gray.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Black Cat from Marvel Crisis Protocol, who is in dire need of some repair. Also primed flat gray. An Orc Commando boss, Orc Commando knob
From the Kill Team set.
from the Kill Team set, yeah. And Head Kraka
From
Underworlds.
Yep.
Mostly primed. The spray's a little light in some places, but we'll find out what
That
happens.
is the one problem with those sprays, is that they sometimes can be a little...
Additionally, I have... Okay. I've got a couple of Iron Jaws here.
So you've got some stuff primed in essentially Gray Seer,
Yeah.
and some stuff primed in basically Wraithbone.
Yes.
Okay. So,
And then I have Optimus Prime here, who is not primed at all.
okay.
But this is a WizKid figure.
So it's
So
pre-primed.
it should be pre-primed.
Okay.
Prime should be pre-primed.
Yeah, I was about to say the Optimus pre-primed.
Anyway.
Dare to be stupid. Dare to be stupid.
Anyway.
The best Transformers theme song. So we're actually using the brushes that came with the kit, which is
Yeah.
the Army Painter monster brushes.
Yeah.
This happens to be one of the few Army Painter brushes I buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a nice, thick synthetic, which I think is perfect for this work.
Mm-hmm. It's a big boy brush.
Shake the heck out of that.
Oh yeah, I should
Yeah.
probably shake this.
So, these do need to be shaken. I'm going to start with a nice High Lord blue.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna see how this black works. See what I have to put up with, folks.
We have a palette here if you'd like to use it, CJ.
Never use palettes.
They're dropper bottles, CJ.
I know.
You're a madman,
I know.
and you need to be stopped. It is worth noting that the Army Painter speed paints do come with metal mixing bowls inside, pre-packaged, which is nice because I think some of the other previous starter sets came with mixing bowls, but you had to put them in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, well, I think that made a pretty good salamander green.
Right on. Well, we've got, I mean, it is Optimus Prime. Yeah, it's a little messy, but it's only messy in places that I
Well,
won't paint over later.
That is a good thing to think about because it does look like the contrast paints.
Contrast.
Freudian slip. It does look like the speed paints don't particularly love flat surfaces, kind of
No.
like contrast paints.
Yeah.
There was a lot of talk when these first were like previewed where people were going, "Oh, it's like contrast paints, but they're better on flat surfaces."
Want to
And
bet?
personally, I think that's kind of bunk.
Yeah.
That being said, Mr. Salamander here,
Mm-hmm. Looks pretty good.
that's not pulled at all. Now, I had to be careful. So for
Right.
this next one, I'm going to be not careful.
Okay.
I am going to slather this crap on in the way that you are supposedly supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
One thick coat, as it were. Unfortunately, do I want to do yellow? Yellow might not look very good.
Not on a thick coat.
Well, I mean, that's kind of got orange, gray, purple. How about purple?
Yeah, there you go.
Hive dweller purple. So there's my purple. We'll wait for that to even out. But so far, I will say one thing.
Yeah.
The staining. So Games Workshop contrast paints have a problem where they kind of stain and can really coffee stain very poorly.
Mhm.
I am not seeing that issue with these at all.
Yeah.
These, I mean, like, look at that armor. Focus. Yep.
You know I have trouble with that.
Not you. So that armor is very, very smooth. Like, that looks almost airbrushed.
Yeah.
Part of that's the zenithal, which is the point.
Right. I gotta say, yeah, this orc flesh is really, really good. It's a little greener than I think I like it.
It's a little green for orcs. You're doing this on the gray one, right?
Yes.
Try it on those
The
Wraithbone ones, because
Yeah.
flesh likes to be warm. In fact, and I should tell you how I do this.
I
I'd like
have
to.
a lot of skin shown on these guys, but okay.
No, there's not. Well, I mean, just do it. You can do it
I'll
on
do it with the face,
Do it
yeah.
on the armor. Paint him green armor. I just want to see how it looks on warm.
That's fair enough.
I do not like the way this paint behaves compared to the other speed paints.
Yeah.
Um,
Not crazy about it.
no, it's too thin and pooly. Yours too, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so this one might be a bit of a miss. Or maybe we just suck.
Black Cat's is sunburned, I guess.
Well, I will say that much. It does not appear. This is not light Caucasian skin.
No.
This is kind of a ruddy tan, which that makes more sense. Now the title makes more sense.
Yeah.
It's a dude who's outside. It's a crusader. He's walking a lot. You know. He's running around. He's crusading.
So I got great news for you.
Hmm?
If you don't like it,
well, that's
This is
something I was going.
water soluble.
I mean, you can do that with most paints,
Right.
and the way these take a while to dry.
Mm-hmm.
It is something we're going to test in the episode. I'm going to take some wet brush and see if they fall apart, because I've heard they do. There is a big hubbub on that on the internet about that.
On the interwebs.
Get ready, get set. We're riding on the internet. Okay, so that
That's a yellow.
is a nice yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Yeah, that is a very nice yellow.
Mhm.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's wow. That's oh wow. As that dries, I love that.
That's pretty good.
I'm a
though.
fan of that yellow. That zealot yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Zello. I'm a fan of that yellow.
I honest to God don't know what I want to paint yet, but I think I've touched on pretty much everything so far.
You want to paint you could paint his cloak yellow.
I don't like yellow on anything. Frankly,
that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yeah, no, these are great though. Like,
so yeah, so we've painted up. Let's get it on camera here.
Yep. Yeah, so we've done some work here.
Mine are on plinths. No. A winner is us.
Yeah.
So we painted up some stuff.
Yeah. Not a lot of stuff, to be perfectly honest.
30,000 foot view, or 40K thousand foot view, I guess. What do you think?
Well, they're half the price of
this is
contrast paints. That's a start.
This is the first time you've ever used these, right?
Yeah.
So to me, these are all at least analogs for their contrast colors, and they're half the price. Like, that's the thing. If they're just contrast paints, but they're $4.50 a bottle instead of $7.80 a bottle. Oh, sorry, that was before the price increase.
Yeah.
For $8 a bottle, I'm never gonna buy a Games Workshop contrast paint again.
Yeah.
With the exception of a few that I really like.
Right.
But we don't have our hands on the full set yet. When we get the full set and we do our 1-to-1 rundown, if
the 1-to-1 down.
Yeah. If this ends up being kind of a replacement,
more power to us, I guess.
It only has to be as good. It doesn't even have to be better.
You don't have to be as you don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun the person running behind you.
Well, you don't have to even outrun the person running besides you. You just have to. If they're covered in steak and you're not, you only have to run as fast. You don't even have to outrun them.
Yeah.
And Games Workshop has covered itself in steak by making everything so expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, these. Now you're a madman who doesn't use pallets. So how does that affect your decision to get these? Does the having to like put them on the tip of the nozzle bug you enough that you would consider?
Not really, no.
Okay.
So I will say this. I appreciate I have a bunch of contrast paints already, and I'm gonna use them and I'm gonna burn through them.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna throw away my contrast paints.
Yeah. And depending on availability for the speed paint stuff, like whenever the full set releases and it's all out and available.
That's the question is,
Yeah.
because right now the Army Painter air paints are not available as singles, which has stopped me from getting air paints more than the starter set because I don't want to spring $280 for the full set.
Shocker.
Yeah, I want these to be singles. I want these to be singles that you can buy.
Yeah.
Because I really want to try every paint. I'm going to get the mega set because I'm me, and I love contrast paints, and I love this painting style.
Right.
Yeah. I want to try something. So this is the first thing I painted tonight.
Okay.
This blue is well and dry.
Okay.
Been sitting here for what, half an hour?
At least, yeah.
We're gonna see if it reactivates.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my brush not totally. I'm gonna get it damp.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we're gonna. So that does reactivate.
Okay. That makes it. It's making it runny.
I'm rubbing away the paint.
Oh, okay.
So if I was painting over this with opaque paints that I had watered down, or even just the paints themselves, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
You are going to need to varnish in between layers.
Yeah.
That's Army Painter themselves. I mean, we're certainly not breaking ground by saying that.
Yeah.
Army Painter themselves has said that part of the formulation for how they make it run, and this does almost run better than some contrast paints do. We'll explore that more in our 1-to-1.
They're a little bit they're thinner, but the honest God.
Part of their formulation does mean that it is not a very durable thing.
Right.
Now, if you're never covering up, like if you're taking this Marine and you're doing purple armor, which by the way I do like this better than Shaggy's purple, and then you do brown on the leather, and then you do black on the gun, and then skin color, and then you're done.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you're not painting over it.
Nope.
But if you're using this as a base coat and then painting from there, you might need to varnish.
Yeah. So
no, not might. You need to varnish.
You need to varnish. So here's the thing. I guess, what are speed paints good for? What are contrast paints good for? They are good for getting minis battle ready and throw them on the table.
Yep. Well, I mean, this is where we somewhat not even disagree, because I also think that contrast paints and speed paints are good for so much else as
Oh
well.
yeah, I know. It's just like what's
They're this
the intended
wonderful
usage
tool.
for
Yeah.
this tool?
And if your intended use is to just like get some stuff painted, I don't think that's going to be an issue for you.
No.
If your intended use is just to lay down a base coat and then like do highlights and shades, like if you're going to put a wash on this, you gotta varnish, or the wash is going to
Yeah.
wash away
Yeah.
your
Your everything,
yeah.
which could be a problem, especially if you've got a green that you think is a little too green.
Yep, and you want to deaden that down a bit.
Yeah.
I gotta share with you my recipe for orc flesh, because I think I will bring that next time.
Okay.
I have a little bottle of it. It's
Cool.
orc flesh contrast paint,
Mhm.
which I guess we could use this.
Yeah.
A couple drops of yellow ink or yellow contrast paint to give it more yellow,
Oh,
and
okay.
you put it over red.
Huh.
And it looks so alive. I'll bring my candles next time. But anyway,
So let's our we like contrast paint. We like speed paint.
yeah, my verdict right now is that I like these as much as I like contrast paint,
Mm-hmm.
which by itself is a victory.
Yeah.
And these are almost half the price. Availability is the only issue.
Yeah.
If Army Painter releases these as singles to game stores, local game stores, not just online,
Yeah.
I want to be able to go to my local game store and buy these on the rack.
Yeah.
If I can do that, I will probably never buy a contrast paint again,
Yeah,
because these do everything they do just as well,
but cheaper.
but cheaper. And that's enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see you next time. Let us know if you're enjoying these. I know these just came out. These just came out.
This became out.
These just became out to the public. They just came out. They're just
Yeah.
available. If you're enjoying these like we are, like I'd love to hear from you, because I'm curious as if everyone's having the same reaction as we are.
Yeah.
I think so. The internet
Yeah.
has been pretty positive on these, and I'm very glad.
Generally speaking,
I
the
also-
internet also likes to hate on Games Workshop too.
This
so-
this is why I did this video, is because often the internet it
Yeah.
loves to call things Games Workshop killers.
yeah.
This new company releases game that's going to kill 40K. Thumbnail looks like this.
Yeah.
Um,
I hate that.
I don't think these will kill contrast paints, because that's not possible, because Games
No.
Workshop has such a market share and such availability.
Yeah.
But I hope it lights a fire under their butts. I don't think it will.
No.
But I like that there's competition. And if nothing else, I
Mm-hmm.
like that I can buy cheaper stuff.
doesn't hurt.
No. What else doesn't hurt? Sharing this video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, you should share it anyway. It's a bit like The Ring. If you
Yeah.
share it with your enemies, they die after 7 days. Results may vary. Anyway, we'll see you next time for Miniatures Rundown. Bye.